Okay, so let's go ahead and create a basic structure for an MVC project. Okay, to start, let's do .NET new, and let's see all the available templates that we have in .NET. So you can see we have web, which is empty. We have MVC, model view control. We can generate for Angular, React, Blazor, class, etc. So we're just gonna use .NET new. This will be MVC and no HTTPS. Do that. I just created the project using no HTTPS. This is because on a Linux machine, it's usually the case that you're gonna use a proxy, a forward proxy, which will redirect all the requests to our app, and so that we don't need a HTTPS. The proxy will have the HTTPS. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is just to verify that everything is it has no error. So how do we do that? We just say .NET build. That's it, no errors. And now let's see .NET run. And .NET run will run this service in a local host. And here is 5053 port. And there you go, it's working. As you can see here, you have privacy. As you can see here, it's like a home privacy. So usually this is the controller, and this is the action inside that controller. The next thing to do is to pretend that this is the complete product. Like we have done everything, and we want to publish this into a production server. That's the idea. So we are going to use .NET CLI for that. So let's go ahead and do that. .NET publish the production. This will generate a folder, a publish folder. As you can see here, we have a publish folder under hello world bin. So we go bin production net and publish. And in here we have a folder, a file named hello world DLL. So let's go ahead and run that. How we run that? Just say .NET hello world.dll. That's it. And now it's running on. Now this is in production, which is running in a different port, 5000. And just check if this is running fine. Yes, it's running fine. So that's it. We can close this one. What is the difference between running in production and running in development? Well, the main difference is that some of the settings will be different. For example, in your development server, which is your computer in most cases, you will be using possibly your local database, because you're going to be changing stuff, right? You don't want to mess up with the server, so you will be able to set up your own settings for that database on appsetting.development.json. Now, when you move to the server, production server, those settings will be different. And one note, these settings should not go to Git repository, to a Git repository. Okay, so let's go back here to the root of our application, and let's see the files that we have in here. So a very important folder here is the www root. If we go inside there, you will see all the assets that are going to be publicly available. And you can see the CSS, JavaScript, and libraries like Bootstrap, etc. And now here we have another one, the controllers, model, and views. That's those three folders are related. In .NET, naming convention is very important. So we have a controller folder and we have a view folder. The controller will have a name, which is just a class, right? A CS class, CS file. So let's say you are building an article controller. So it will be article with capital A and controller with capital C .cs. Now this means that there will be a folder under views named article, and there will be a file for each action that you define in the controller. For example, if you have in your controller article controller.css, you have a action named index. That means there will be an index file under views article or articles and their index.cs file. If you have another one, for example, get all or whatever, then you have to create one for each view. Okay, for example, here we have controller, CD controller, we have a home controller. In this home controller, we see that we have two actions. We have index action, and we have privacy action. Okay, so this view, where this view is coming from? Well, it will come from, let's see, it will come from the views folder, and there should be a home folder inside that, and it have an index and a privacy file. Now, if you go inside here, you will see the HTML. Now here, learn about, this is actually the body of that file, only the body, but there is a whole layout. Now, how we relate this HTML that we find in index, for example, to a whole layout. So there must be a layout, which we have the header, which is a navbar, the body, and then the footer. So let's look for the layout, and the layout is, let's see, the layout is in share, in a share folder. Here you go, VI layout, and here you can see you have the metadata. This is the navbar that we saw in the page, and we have the render body. This is whatever the HTML of index or privacy pages output, it will be rendered inside this body. And we have the footer. Okay. Now, important thing here, these are tag helpers. Okay, tag helpers will help create, generate some code, some HTML code for us. Okay, so let's go back and see how these all relate. So now we have to glue them, right? How do we call this this layout? So right now, we can see there is only one layout, and this layout is called here. So this file is telling all the views, is saying, hey, the layout that you are going to use by default is this layout, which is in .NET will already know that this should go into the share folder. In the name will be layout.cs HTML file. So by default, it will take this one. Of course, we can change this one. We can define one layout per page if we want. How does .NET knows that the HTML is not real HTML? It's using tag helpers. We need to import them. Okay, so the way we do this is by see what is inside view import, and there you go. So we are using, these are the These are the namespaces we're using and the add tag helper. We're just saying we want to use the add tag helper from this package, and that's it. It's globally importing all those files. Actually, that library. Okay, so as a bonus, I want to add a git ignore file, and I want to add, create or initialize a Git repository for this project. Now, this is not the complete project. This is just starting just to show, but I would like to show you guys how you can generate your Git ignore file without writing it yourself. Okay, so we first go back to the root of the project, and we do dotnet new git ignore, and we can see the file that was generated by doing git ignore, and that's it. The generated file there, and we just do git init, git add all, git commit initial commit. Okay, so this is done just for make this initial structure complete, because I don't think it will be completed without a Git repository. Okay, anyway, that's it for this one. See you in the next one.